Stay tuned. Your program will begin shortly.
Okay, welcome into Ohio Valley Sports Online. We're here on the campus of Franciscan University of Steubenville, the Coach Joe Wallace Show. Baron Basketball, sponsored by Trinity Health System. Coach, thanks for coming in. Congratulations on a great start, man. Off and running 4-0.
Yeah, off to a good start. I mean, one different way so far this year. We've played a lot of guys. Our depth is pretty strong. Got new faces out there too, and pleased with where we're at right now. I mean, especially after Saturday. Saturday was a big win. We played a really good team, came through here and took care of business. So, got to keep moving forward. But yeah, as we're sitting now 4-0, it's a good regrouping week for us right now to get back to practicing and get ready to go for the next stretch coming up.
Things I like, that we've seen so far in this 4-game stretch, Coach. You win a big one in the opener.
Yep.
You win when the game's on the line.
Yep.
And you've won running away.
Yes.
So that's had an opportunity for you to clear your bench in a game.
Yeah.
To let everybody play, which is going to keep those kids involved and practicing hard.
Yeah.
But then you're trying to develop like a rotation where I see about 10 kids that are contributing for you on a regular basis.
Yeah, they are. I mean, going back to that first game, I mean, we didn't really know who we were yet, right? Because we kind of felt we had a lot of pieces coming back. Aiden Townsend was out with the shoulder injury and just started practicing a few days before we went on that trip and was still not 100%. And then Trav is working through some personal things right now, so we didn't have him. And it was just kind of interesting to kind of see how the new dynamics would go. And we didn't really play well in that game. We just found a way to win. I mean, the obvious was Sawyer played extremely well. I mean, not only did Sawyer, he had 35 or 36, hit the game-winning three, but he was on all levels, both ends of the floor. He was guarding, he was getting steals, he's on the glass, and guys kind of fed off that, and then gave us confidence after that win going into Saturday, playing a totally unique, different format. They spread us out. They had a lot of dribble, drive, motion. It was more of an up-tempo game in Adrian College out of Michigan. And then our depth won that game. And now we are starting to feel that as we went into last Saturday with Baron. And not only the depth, but we've been able to extend our defense. We've been pressing more, which was something we've worked on a lot. Just didn't know kind of how that would work, out here. And which I think is something that's going to be a big part of who we're going to be going forward.
Well, I definitely want to talk about that because that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
But the most impressive thing I've seen about Sawyer, I mean, Sawyer is the juice of this team. There's no doubt about it. But man, he is getting guys involved, man. And
Heck yeah! I mean,
he is sharing that basketball to guys that can knock down the 3-ball.
Well, that's the other side of what we're experiencing so far is the influx of us being able to hit shots. I mean, we have a high-powered offense for really the first time that, since I've been here. I mean, we've always had to win by our defense and ball control and rebounding. So having that arsenal of guys, and there's different lineups we can play. Like we shuffle the deck based off of what's going to work, based off who we're playing. But at any given moment, we can have, 4, possibly 5 shooters on the floor that can hit and knock down shots. So it's impressive. It's fun to watch. But the big thing still with who our identity is that we have to continue to keep getting better in the half court defensively and on the glass, because I still feel that this group can guard at a way higher level than they have. They're still learning some things because there are newer pieces out there, but it's good to be 4-0 with that, and good to be 4-0 still trying to figure out who we really are. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, well, I don't want to forget about talking about defense because I love it. But the other point I want to make and talk to you about is the fact that we've talked about numbers several times.
Yeah.
And I think the Barons are finally in a position where they can play 9, 10 guys.
Oh, there's not even a question right now.
And not lose anything. You know what I mean? You got 10 guys that are contributing. But what I like the most and what I've seen is, if you have to, you're up 8 with 7 minutes to go in a game, and you could say, hell with it, man. They're going to have to outscore me, because you could put 5 scores on the floor and just keep scoring at a pace where in the past where you could say, okay, man, we got to dig in and play defense to get this win.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that now you can play offense at the end of the game as well.
We can go that route, and we did. We've done that a little bit. Saturday, the Adrian game up at Overland, we did that for a stretch where it was kind of like, all right, let's try to spread this thing out and make sure we got guys that can knock down shots, because I felt like they were teetering. Saturday was a little different. I felt like we scored enough at one point, and I was like, I don't think they can. The way our defense was ratcheting up,
right.
So we went with a different lineup there. We took Sawyer off to give him a break, and I was like, we can probably kind of see how this goes with like just one with a hard edge defensive group. And it did. It kept, we didn't really push the lead. It kind of maintained it, but we were taking clock and we were really grinding them down. And then they started to press, and then Nate Richards and Sawyer Butler both came in just to kind of close that out, to have some good veteran ball handlers there. But other than that, like, it's just kind of finding what those right lineups are. And they change constantly during the flow of it. And we had the way we were sparking things early in that second half on Saturday, Carl Yonku was, he just struggled early, missed some easy ones, got 2 quick fouls, was on the bench, but then started the second half. He's heading the press, and he was getting some juice from that. Getting deflections, trying to turn them over, and then had basically 9 straight points to kind of get us moving, to kind of push that thing up to double figures. So there's a lot of different hands in this whole thing, especially Saturday. There's a lot of guys that, like Anthony Ciola. We were kind of
gave you good minutes.
Oh, he gave us great minutes. And he didn't, I think he had 2 points maybe and a couple rebounds, but he was guarding a 6'8" kid. He's giving up about 5 inches when just absolutely just physically getting into him and doing a lot of really high energy plays and stuff that doesn't show up in the stats yet. I thought Malachi Rose-Burton played really well. Same thing. I think he only had a couple points, but had some massive offensive rebounds. Was really bringing it on the defensive end, and it's great. It's good to be able to keep shuffling the deck and figure out what the right lineups are every game. And that's the biggest thing this group's going to have to understand, is that it's going to be about the team, right? Everybody says that, but minutes will adjust constantly every game, and it just depends on what the right matchup is and what's working for us that day, because they all can kind of rely on each other, and it makes it easier for everybody.
Well, the season's young, Coach, but I love the defensive intensity. You caught me off guard when you was come out pressing and you stayed in the press. I loved it. But what the most impressive thing about that is, they're kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, they are.
But, and Lord knows what goes on through these young guys' minds anymore. But your kids, your team has bought in, and you're getting energy off the bench, which enables you to keep the defensive pressure up. And I love it because you're creating offense. Well, we talk about it all the time. Your guys are getting, if they don't get a steal, which they are getting many steals, they're getting a lot of tips, man. They're getting their hands on the ball, man. If there was a stat for that, man, Maz always talks about it for the mere fact of the hands that you get on the ball, getting in passing lanes, and guys that are coming in are maintaining that intensity, and that's how you play, not defense, but team defense.
Team defense. You're right about that. And I'm glad you brought that up, because we do track those during the deflections. We track them during games, and Coach Santangelo does, and he's always in my ear about it. The first media timeout, we had 0, and you could tell. Their offense was moving. They were hitting open shots. They were getting where they wanted to. And then from that point on, the rest of that first half, but it started to ratchet up, and I think we ended up like maybe 11 or 12 at halftime, and then, I mean, that first 8 minutes out of the half, I mean, it was constant, and deflections is like it's a key stat to show how engaged and how energized and how much our ball pressure is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and like what I keep saying, it's like we got to figure out the other side. We've gotten off to one good start, and that was Wednesday when we came out and dropped the hammer on New Kensington. But man, we've gotten off to bad starts. The Beloit game, the opener, we were down 14. We were down 12 to Adrian on Saturday, and then we were down 6 or 8 early to Baron. So we got to keep trying to figure that out. But it's part of who this group's been a little bit, because you do have some guys that are getting a feel for the game, which we do got to come out and punch. But I'm not a big fan of that, though. I mean, I'd like for us to come out and set the tone early, but.
I'm impressed with the guys that are coming off the bench, and even the new guys that you brought in this year.
Yeah.
How well it seems like everybody. It seems to me that everybody enjoys playing with each other. And I think that's a motivating factor in continuing to play hard. I don't see any ignorant body language. I see a lot of get up and go in your basketball team at this point.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's really a close group on and off the floor, and it's a really good balance of older guys and younger guys. I think our leadership's been really good this year. It's a new leadership. It's been more of a focused leadership, about hard work and the right things, and not things that maybe are a little fluffy. But that's who we are at the end of the day. Like that gets beaten out of you if you have that around here. If you're having a bad attitude or any of that stuff, it's just we don't let it fester. We're just gonna smack it. And these guys have been around long enough that, and the freshmen and the new guys are just following what's been established here. So, but you know how that goes. There's always gonna be some adversity coming our way.
Absolutely.
There's gonna be tough stretches, so we'll see how we handle them. And Saturday's gonna be that way because we have to. It's our first true road game. We played 2 neutral site games, and we're gonna have it's like a 2-hour, 45-minute drive there, and see how we handle that for the first time, because things have been a little bit easier because of that. Because we went up to Cleveland to Overland. We were up there the night before at a hotel. We're leaving Saturday morning, heading right in there, and the plan is to go up, and we're gonna have to have that energy right away. There's an advantage to having to, or disadvantage traveling that far and showing up and playing a game, 90 minutes before once you arrive. Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, Adam Martello told me, I got to drop to my motto, no excuses. He said, I'm late to the game on that. He said, he goes, that's been around.
That's been around a long time.
But I love the fact that just by being with the Barons the past 5-6 years and watching these games, confident, that I think I know enough about basketball. I'm number one. I said it 100 times. I was so surprised by how strong the league was. I mean, that caught me off guard. I mean, but I believe that finally, if these kids continue to play the way they look like they can play, I think the Barons are in a position to compete in this league and do well, because I think like I said, you got numbers. We do. You got 9-10 guys that can come in and help your team.
For sure. And like last year, we took a big step, massive step. But as everybody knows, watching last year's team, I mean, we struggled to score in stretches at times, especially in big games. Knock on wood, I feel like with this group, we made some changes offensively. We're playing faster, and there's a different dynamic to what we're doing in the half court, and I think it fits us better. And the guys have learned a new offense, it's not totally brand new, but there's a lot of nuances to what they're trying to do out of it. I think they've done a great job with that. But I think there's a lot of swagger with these guys offensively. It's just down the line. It's nothing that we've done as coaches. It's just who they are. They have confidence in themselves. And it goes, I'm not just saying Sawyer.
With confidence.
Aiden Townsend's played a lot with us. He's got an offensive. It just goes down the line. Even like Zach Oliver's new. Zach Valero, freshman, he's confident. He knows who he is. Cavetta off the bench as a freshman he's not going to pass up an open shot, and he's not afraid to stick it. And then you got Nate Richards, who's a point guard. Malachi Rose Burton has played a lot, understands who he is. Tommy Christian, who's going to bring that defensive presence, who's very comfortable in his role. And I think that's the biggest thing is guys understand who they are in their roles right now.
Role players.
Yes, and everybody's got a different role, and continue to keep understanding that's a big thing.
Coach, other than your travel and things like that, tell us a little bit about Altoona.
About the team, honestly have no clue right now. I'm not gonna
there
lie.
you go,
I
there
haven't
you go.
watched them yet, because I really wanted to spend. I'll just be honest. I wanted to spend. We played Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday to start the season, and really want to dive into like really seeing what we're lacking right now, how things are working, some individual things with guys, and then I'll move on to Altoona tomorrow.
Well, tell us a little bit about Altoona, the city, then, man.
Oh, okay.
Where you going to eat at?
I'll tell you where we're going to eat. Okay, so we talked about this last night of video. So, guys, a few of these veterans have complained about maybe a food choice we've had in the past, and I said, here's the deal. Everybody can vote on this. We win at Altoona. We can eat it. You guys can pick anywhere you want to eat from Altoona to Steubenville. If you lose, you're not getting anything. So it was unanimous. They all are going to double down on themselves. So we'll see how that goes Saturday. They're going to be either eating really well on the way back or they're going to be starving. So it's one or the other.
All right, there you go, that top-notch scouting report on Penn State Altoona. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our player of the week, Aiden Townsend. All right, we're back here with our Baron Basketball Coach Joe Wallace Show, sponsored by Trinity Health Systems. With us, joining us in this second segment, the Fast Cat, Aiden Townsend, Jr. from Beaver, Pennsylvania, continued teammate of Sawyer Butler. Had a nice conversation before everybody showed up, about your visit here, and you brought Sawyer with you. Let's talk about that to start.
Yeah, so they came and watched me at.
We were recruiting him first. He was our first. Yeah, we were on him, and go ahead.
A couple of AAU games they came to in the spring, and they invited me to outdoor workout. Yeah. The outdoor courts out there. I was like asking Sawyer if he wanted to come up because I'd never been up here. Just wanted somebody to drive up here with me, and so that's.
Yeah,
I think that's how you found out about Sawyer. So.
That was how. We didn't see him yet, and then they both showed up, and then Tommy Christian came.
Yeah,
that
Tommy
day too.
was there too.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy looking back at that day. We were working out up on the outdoor courts, doing some skill, like our summer skill sessions, and I remember the thunderstorm. It was like a tornado warning came out of everywhere, but it was like but it was our first chance to really sit down with with Aiden Sawyer and like Tommy and spend some time on the court with them, which was look at that now, and these guys have been massive pieces to what we're doing right now.
Well, your third year, Aiden, you're part of the culture. Talk about that a little bit here. That the culture that they've tried to build, and I think that even goes into effect with like a guy like Nick Alianello. Staying on, and Frankie Bellissimo, wanting to be a student coach and making plans to be in the area. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that, the kind of culture that's been created up here through Baron Basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the main reasons I think I picked to come here. Every time I came up here, those guys, we got to know them. And just being here the last couple of years, they really set that tone for us. And, we just got to continue that.
Yeah. Well, you struggled a little bit, with injuries. I know you're playing through them now. You had the high ankle sprain last year, and this year you got the shoulder.
Yeah.
But, me and Coach Wallace were just talking about it. In your comments on the fact, as a player, you guys ain't stupid.
Yeah.
You see that you guys are a better basketball team. Does that help you with your confidence?
I mean, just having these guys out here, it really, I mean, motivates us, and
I mean, for playing time. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you got to get up and go with these practices
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's where you earn your minutes.
Never
because
have a
that's
day
my
off.
point.
Yeah.
That's my point. I mean, I think that the Barons had the opportunity to have a 10-man rotation
Yeah.
and be effective, and you could fall out of that rotation, or your
Of course,
minutes
any day.
can drop.
I mean, yeah, if you're not bringing it every day, somebody else can step up immediately and take it. I mean, because there's guys that are here that are able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good because and that's why this week's good. You know, we start out 4-0. It's quick. Play Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. That we can get back out here just to us and work on things that we need to work on. And then, I mean, our practice yesterday was really good. See how they do today. They earn an off day, but we got after it yesterday. It's pretty impressive to see after they really didn't have to light a switch with it. There was no fire. I mean, they competed and it was fun to watch. But with like Aiden, like him missing, he missed a massive chunk of preseason practices, and him gutting it out that first weekend was really impressive. From my point of view, it shows his maturity too, and his toughness is taking another step because having an AC joint injury to your shoulder it's not, especially as a basketball player. I mean, you're moving those arms up, down, all over the place, and he didn't feel great. He didn't feel great even the day before. I was just like, are you sure you're ready? Because I just want to do what's best for you. In the back of my mind, I was like, we need him, though. We need him on the floor to be successful. And he gave us some really good minutes playing not at 100%, and he's still close, but not. Yeah, and this week will be really big for him just to string up some really good practices and feel really good going into Saturday.
How are you feeling, Aiden?
Oh, well, I mean, a lot better than 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it tough for you to deal with those injuries and stuff, getting frustrated and everything?
Yeah, the mental aspect of it, I mean, that's huge.
Easy to get down, man.
It really is. I mean, I think learning from freshman year really helped me. You just have to be positive about it. If you're worrying about other guys out there, it helps you take your mind off it. Just be a light,
that's
the energy guy.
Yeah, it's a great approach to it. Like, you're out, and doesn't mean that you don't have a hand in what's happening, right? And worrying about other guys and trying to, you got to take care of your rehab and you're making sure you're good. But if you start focusing on the guys that are out there and trying to be a sounding board for them, let them a shoulder to lean on, and you're talking to them, I mean, your mindset quickly changes from you to other people, which is a big thing. And we try to preach that to these guys, but I get it. It's hard to do when you're like, well, why did this have to happen? I've worked so hard all summer, which he did, changing his body, working out every day, coming in August and having, just really good stretch run of really good things for Aiden. And then basically that first, what was that, the fourth practice maybe, that Saturday of our official start, has a shoulder injury, and then he's out. And I give him a lot of credit, though, to really man up. We needed him to man up and I didn't want to push him to do anything he wasn't comfortable with, which we didn't. At least I don't think we did.
No.
But we needed him. We just needed his presence on the floor. Because it was really, to me, in my heart going into that weekend, I had no clue what this team was going to be like. And that was just the truth. That's an honest fact right now. And having him, who's given a lot, has won us some big games last year and been a big part of that, having him, on that floor, just even if he couldn't use his left arm, which he really didn't on that weekend, still was very beneficial for our success. It really
How'd
was.
you hurt, Aiden?
It was in practice. I was coming off the backside help, trying to block, I think it was Carl. It just came down right on it. Yeah.
It was one of those freak things too,
accident.
because it was one of our lighter practices
we've
we've ever had. And it was one of the only things that we did that was semi-live. And I was just like, all right, this is ridiculous. We just can't. We just have to just practice hard all the time. Because if we go late and this happens, I mean, this is stupid.
Yeah.
So we do practice hard all the time. So it's just the way it goes.
So you're in your third year, Aiden, and you're business management, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Well, and you're living off campus. So how's life in Steubenville for you?
I'm loving it.
Oh,
Loving
beautiful.
it. Yeah.
Man, beautiful.
he's the fast cat, you know. So we'll keep it that way.
Okay, we won't delve into that anymore.
No, I'm joking. That's a joke.
We can go a
No,
lot of ways with
we
that.
can go a lot of ways with that. We call him the fast cat because Aiden's a little. He's like an indoor cat right now. We're trying to turn him into like more of an outdoor cat, and that's part of his next year and a half with us. Yeah, getting him out a little bit more.
Well, we're pulling for you, brother. Wish you the
Appreciate
best
it.
of luck,
Thank
man.
you.
You stay healthy, help the team.
Thank you.
It's Aiden Townsend, Coach Joe Wallace here in our Baron Basketball Coach Joe Wallace Show, sponsored by the Trinity Health System in the Carpellotti Room on the campus of Franciscan University overlooking the court. Thank you for watching in. Go Barons.